Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Complete Sports Media's podcast. I'm your host, Darren Campbell, and joining me on a Memorial Day long weekend for our American subscribers, followers, family, and friends. We had a long weekend last weekend, so you guys get it this weekend. And I guess I'm talking to a guy that doesn't really even care because he doesn't work anymore. So Jason Cameron's joining me as always to do a weekend wrap up of sports. How are you, buddy?
Good, good. And I'll let the listeners know what you're alluding to with my time off. Unfortunately, hurt myself at work. Luckily, it wasn't too serious, but I still need some time to recover. And but otherwise, the weekend was good besides the injury. And, just I like the fact that it's now down to one game a day for basketball playoffs.
Yeah.
So that means I just get to focus legitimately just on the one game.
Yeah.
I like that.
That's actually great, isn't it? Yeah, it's actually slowed down the weekend workload basically for me. I have to PVR so much less. I PVR a hockey game and a basketball game every night and watch those. But in the first round it was just insane. Second round was just as tough, and it does feel good that there's just alternating nights, and finally we get some clarity. We're going to be able to do a preview of the final tonight, Boston against Dallas. We're going to be able to do that. That's already obviously done. Both up 3-0. Can you believe that these conference finals were just so one-sided, really?
You know what? Yes and no, because at the same time, for example, for the Celtics and the Pacers actually had chances to win at least two of those games.
Yeah,
right?
for sure. Yeah.
They had a chance, but it came down to execution down the stretch. Celtics did, the Pacers didn't. And the same thing I would say goes for even more so maybe for the Mavericks and the Timberwolves. That I swear the Timberwolves had two of those games. I want to say the second and the third game, but somehow Luka and Kyrie, they stole those games from those guys again. And again, it comes down to execution down the stretch. And basically, especially with the Mavericks, having probably the most talented backcourt in the NBA, with those two guys handling the ball the way that they do, you're going to get a good shot. You're going to get a good shot.
Yeah, it's been, I mean, the games have been really close. Amazing 20-point comeback by the Mavs there against the T-Wolves, the last game. That game, Boston and Indiana, Boston came back from like 20 down and made a furious comeback. The thing that really, really bugged me was they had a chance to, Indiana had a chance to win that game. Boston comes down and they miss a shot. Andrew Nembhard grabs the rebound and starts running up court, and nobody else ran. I watched that play about 3 or 4 times and I couldn't believe it. Nobody else ran with him. So he was running up the court. He stops and he looks around and doesn't see anybody. He starts to dribble a little bit, and Drew Holiday ends up stealing it from him, and game over. And I'm like, what the hell was going on there? There was I think it was about 7 seconds when he got it into his hands and started running up the court, and nobody else ran. It was bizarre.
Yeah, it was bizarre. And especially considering that's what the Pacers are all about.
Yeah.
But I will give credit to Drew Holiday in that exceptional defense. There was probably maybe the only other one guy that could have done the same sort of play and stripped Nembhard of the ball, which would be his backcourt teammate Derek White. Yeah. But that is why they got that guy. That's why they have him, so that he can make plays like that. And he made that play and salted away the win for the Celtics.
Yeah. Al Horford turning back the clock and scoring a lot of 3-pointers. The guy's still contributing at 38 years old, in the league for like 20 years, and being able to shoot long distance, get a lot of rebounds. I'm very impressed with what he's bringing.
No, the fact that he's still doing it,
Yeah.
And the fact that I think he's, what, 17, 18 years into the league right now, and he's still able to do what he's doing, which is just exceptional. It's
Yeah.
amazing.
They're not really even missing Kristaps Porzingis because of what he's doing.
No, absolutely not. Right? They're off 3-0.
Yeah.
And it looks like they didn't even need Kristaps for the Eastern Conference Finals. They literally was like, I know he's one of our best guys. With him in the lineup, we have the best five on the court, best lineup. He's not even there. Don't worry, we don't need you.
Yeah.
We're good.
Okay, give me your prediction. Who's gonna win? Boston, Dallas, how many games? Who do you think's got this?
You know what? I always knew Boston would make it to the finals, and they have, because everybody I think was thinking that Boston was making it, but now the Mavericks are here, which I'm sorry, dark horse, never saw it coming.
No.
And since I think 6 games for the Celtics.
Okay.
I think in 6.
Yeah.
That's what I'll say. But if I'm wrong and somehow the Mavericks win, this would be one of the utmost crowning achievements of Luka Doncic's career, because there's no way that anybody would have thought that he could have been able to take that team and win a championship with.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been super impressed with Daniel Gafford, Derek Lively. It was really tough to see Derek Lively. He got a knee from Cat in the groin area, and then a knee from Cat in the back of the head. I don't think we're going to see him in the next game. I think they'll probably keep him out. Concussion protocol. They're up 3-0. Probably no point to risk his further injury.
Yeah, I would agree with you on that, because once you saw the replay of him getting the knee to the back of the head, that's when you saw that, oh no, that's a serious blow.
Yeah.
Like that was a big time hit, because you saw him down on the ground. I'm like, well, what happened to him? And then you see the replay, like, oh, okay, there's a reason that he's not moving. Okay, cool. So I'm hoping that the young man's gonna be fine. He recovers, but I agree with you. There's no reason for him to even throw him out there. There's no need. So I don't think he'll be playing next game.
Dallas's depth has been pretty damn impressive. Those moves they made to get Gafford, PJ Washington, Lively's obviously the rookie, great draft pick, and they've really just got a complete team now that's I think going to give Boston a serious run for their money. I think Kyrie has a lot to play for, because Boston, when he played there, didn't go well. Kind of soured on him. He soured on them. I think do you see him trying to play out of his mind to get revenge?
I think he already has been. So if he is able to even bring it up another notch, awesome. I can't wait to see what that looks like, because that's going to be fantastic to see.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think there's going to be a little bit of, I got something to prove here from Kyrie, and Luka is just going to do Luka magic. That's what he's been doing, and that's what he's going to continue to do. I really look forward to that series.
Well, just you mentioned the backcourt for Boston, Drew Holiday and Derek White, and then you got Luka and Kyrie against those. Just imagine how fun it's going to be to see those 4 guys going against each other.
It's going to be fantastic, because you got 2 guys that are at the peak, the ultimate of offense, and you got 2 guys that are at the peak at the ultimate of defense, and they're just going to go to war. It's going to be a thing of beauty to watch.
Yeah,
it really is. And I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully Porzingis is healthy once it gets to the finals, because I'd love to see the Celtics with their full lineup go against the Mavericks with their full lineup, and just go mano a mano.
Yeah,
I think that would be for the best. So hopefully he's going to be healthy enough to go.
Yeah. Well, I guess we don't know for sure that when it's going to start, but we'll probably be a game or 2 into it by the time we do next week's podcast. Can't wait. I think it's going to be a great series. I do lean towards Boston a little bit myself. They've been the consensus champion all year, blew away the competition in the regular season. They've reached the conference finals on a few occasions. were not able to get that ring, but I think finally this is their year. I think Tatum, Brown, Drew Holiday, the rest of this team is going to come together and finally deliver it. It will be absolutely shocking if Dallas does it, and it'll be kind of shocking to the extent where Dirk Nowitzki was able to deliver that championship for Dallas.
Yeah, I would say so. I never thought of it like that, but yeah, you're absolutely right. It would be shocking to that level. Except there's only one thing I'd say about Dirk's team. It was kind of just Dirk. Like it would just be the equivalent of just Luka without Kyrie.
Right.
But at least this time Luka has Kyrie. Yeah. And Dirk was just like, I guess the only other guy I could say that was really his partner in crime might have been Jason Terry.
Yeah, true. The world of basketball lost a legend today. Bill Walton passed away from cancer at 71 years old. Sad day. He was an amazing basketball talent, amazing sportscaster. Really became one of those guys that you just love to see. You love to hear talk. You just really wanted to have him be around the game. And luckily, he was around the game for most of our lives. And so many tributes pouring in today. He was a two-time NBA champion. He was just, such a solid human being and super fun to listen to and talk. When he talked about the game, you really wanted to be there listening. When he played for the UCLA Bruins, he was three-time College Player of the Year, two-time national champion. They won 88 straight games when he was there, and came into the NBA, had an amazing impact right away, won a championship, underwent a lot of foot injuries, and it really started derailing his career a little bit. Luckily, he was able to recover from those, won a championship with Boston as the best sixth man, won the sixth man award, and ended up having a great end of his career. His son became an NBA player as well, won a couple championships too, and they're the only father-son duo in history to win multiple championships as well. And it's a great loss. I was really not, I wasn't aware that he was this sick. And it came as quite a bit of a shock to me.
I wasn't aware either, because I swear I saw him do a podcast or an interview. Yeah, I think it was a couple months ago, but he looked good, but he was probably going through treatment even then. So it's shocking. He'll be sorely missed. If there's one thing I love about Bill Walton, I absolutely love this, was he wouldn't really be needed to be asked a question and he'd just go off on a tirade. And then that would be it. Or sometimes you'd ask the question knowing that that's probably the only question I'll get to ask Mr. Walton. That's it. Because once he starts talking, it's over. It's over.
That's true. Yeah. He had the gift of the gab and he would just run off with it. I just want to say F cancer, fuck cancer. We've got, we've lost way too many people in this world. We're losing people every day, family, friends, and we've got to stop this madness. We've got to come up with a cure. I've always been told that there is a cure there, but they're not making money off of it. So they're not unveiling it, rolling it out, and having all these people take it. They're not making enough money. The treatments that they have right now are the ways of making tons of money, and it's pretty sickening and disgusting that the almighty dollar is winning out on and we keep losing lives to cancer.
Yeah, it sucks. It's unfortunate. I lost my mom to cancer. I would not wish that upon anybody, and I would love to see a solution to this, a cure. I'd love to see a cure. I think a lot of us would love to see a cure on this planet.
Let's hope we can finally get that rolled out and we can do it. But I'd like to dedicate this podcast to Bill. Great guy. we'll play some Grateful Dead tonight for you, Bill. And yeah, it was sad news to get that this morning. Yeah, what a incredible legend in the game, and we just keep losing all these great legends, getting into their 70s, which doesn't even seem all that old to me. And bam, another one gone. Sticking with professional basketball, I got to go see our Vancouver Bandits on the weekend. They started their season summer league this weekend. They went 2-0 on the weekend and had an amazing performance yesterday when we watched the game live. They have two guys on their team. One guy currently plays with the Portland Trail Blazers, and he decided he wants to play in the summer, keep sharp. And another guy that was on the Atlanta Hawks roster a couple years back, and the guy that's the Portland Trailblazer, his name is Tajay Moore, and holy crap, this guy is good. There was a moment in the game where he was dribbling at the top of the 3-point line, and he started making moves and started just juking and jiving. Was able to beat the guy that was defending him. Went through the paint, avoided 2 or 3 guys, and slammed it down. It was one of the most spectacular things I've seen live. It was unreal how much he flew. The spectacular us of the dunk. Every single person in the entire arena jumped up and stood up and cheered and clapped, and it was spectacular. And it's amazing to see a guy that's on the Portland Trailblazers here in Vancouver playing in this summer league, professional league. And the quality of the basketball was super impressive, Jason. You've got to go. I'm going to be as many games as I possibly can. It was a phenomenal day.
Yeah, I was, as soon as you sent me that Instagram of the Bandits and this new league that's popped up, I was just like, and of course I have to be injured. Yep. That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. But yes, I definitely will be trying to check out a game, hopefully with you at some point in time, like down the road in the future, because it looked awesome. And then also too, that just goes to show just how good the NBA is.
Yeah.
I don't know where he is on the depth chart of the Trailblazers, probably 11th, 12th, or 13th man, or whatever it is. But that's how good these guys are.
Yeah.
That's how good they are. And that you have to always remember that. It's like the 13th guy is utterly spectacular. He dominated in his state or wherever he's from. And so then when you see him in a semi-professional, professional summer league, you see just how good these guys are.
Yeah. No, it's awesome. Yeah. The quality of ball was great. They beat Scarborough yesterday, who are the defending champions. They won last year, and yeah, great start. They have to play Saskatchewan coming up on Saturday. No, sorry, they play Saskatchewan Thursday, and then they play again here against Calgary on Saturday, 7:30 tip-off. So most of the games are Saturdays. I think they play a 20-game schedule, so 10 home games most Saturdays. I'll put this a link to the schedule on the website, and people can take a look. I highly recommend it. It was a spectacular game. I only had a couple of things where I might tweak it a little bit. One was they're only playing 10-minute quarters, and I think that does a disservice. We talked about that with the women's game, and the numbers just should reflect on a full 48-minute game instead of a 40-minute game. Tajay had 19 points. I think he had 9 rebounds, 7 assists. If he plays another 5 minutes, he's got a triple-double, and it's gonna really magnify how amazing of a game he had. I just feel like they get a little bit robbed with 2 less minutes each quarter.
Yeah, I can understand that. That might be a business choice on their end to keep the games more condensed so that they could have more games. so to speak. So, but I agree with you. I would love to see, because I'm always in for more basketball because I'm
Yeah,
greedy,
yeah,
and
yeah,
I love that about
for
myself.
sure.
So
Yeah.
yeah, 2 more minutes. I agree.
The only other thing that was strange, and I've seen another league do this too, is they had a target score. So around the 4 minute left in the fourth quarter mark, they stop the game. They have a timeout, and then they take the team with the top score and they add 9 points to that, and whoever hits that mark wins the game. So at that time, it was about 3:50 left in the fourth quarter. They were tied at 79. So 88 became the target score, and I they turn off the clock. They have the shot clock going, but they turn off the regular clock and just do it. And I don't get why. I really don't get why. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Maybe so you don't have overtime games. Is that it? You think that's it?
That's exactly it.
Is
That's
it?
exactly it. They just to make sure that the game doesn't go into extra time that they can't afford. That's why they do it like that. Yeah.
I see. They had a weird thing that went on. Vancouver scored some points right away after that timeout, and they got to 85-81. And so it was like, okay, if you just need a three-pointer
Yeah.
and you've got this victory. And so then Scarborough was just covering the three-point line. They
Yeah.
weren't fading back at all. They were just covering everybody around the three-point line, so they couldn't automatically win. They got a stop. Scarborough went down. Vancouver stopped them. Then I think there was two stops both ways. Scarborough came down and scored finally, so it was 85-83. Vancouver went down and passed it around, got a ball into the corner, and the guy tried launching it and was fouled on a 3-point shot. Right away, the referee said two, and then everybody started going, "What the hell? What are you?" Screamed at him. Then he looked around and talked to his other refs. Okay, three. Then Scarborough challenged the call, so it went to replay. So then they were looking at it for a while, and then they came back and said, "No, it's three." So then I said, "Well, I guess this game could be won at the line here." How weird of a end to a basketball game where the guy could win it on a free throw. So
Yeah.
he hits the first one and he misses the second one. So all of a sudden I heard these guys behind me go, "Oh, thank Christ, it's not going to end on a free throw. This is better." And then he missed the third one. So it was 86-83.
Yeah.
And then Scarborough came down, missed their opportunity. Vancouver went down, fed the guy, fed their power forward in the paint. He was using elbows and using jukes and jives, and he finally came up and scored it. And we all got to jump up and cheer and celebrate the victory, not at the free throw line. So it was a lot better that we actually saw a bucket and a good play to win the game.
Yeah, that's the way that you want to see the game end, as opposed to on the line. So I guess it was good that he missed those foul shots that he was trying to make.
Yeah.
Wink, wink.
Yeah. Yeah. Could have been wink, wink. He didn't want to do it either. But yeah, it was pretty bizarre. This power forward that scored the winning bucket, Lorraine pointed down, "Whoa, look at the size of that guy. His shoulders were probably you'd have a hard time fitting them in the screen here. The guy was just so massive." And I think he was from Surrey originally. The guy was like, I think he was 6'9", 270. And yeah, he was just a big, big, big guy. And he was in there battling in the paint the whole game. Really, really good power forward they had. They also had a cool banner set up, and it had a sort of a shadow image of the tallest player in the league and the tallest wingspan. And the tallest wingspan was 7'8". Tallest guy was like 7'1" or 2" or something. And a lot of kids were there holding their hands out, getting pictures from their parents and showing how much smaller they were compared to the biggest guys in the league. It was kind of fun and definitely a big hit. And they also had a women in sport conference Q&A between a reporter and themselves. They brought in a couple of Olympians. One was a female basketball Olympian, and one was a female soccer Olympian. They had both played in multiple Olympic games, and they had a lot of girls there asking questions, listening into their thing. They ended up having a bit of a basketball camp, I guess, the earlier in the weekend, and yeah, it was great. It was just phenomenal. I can't recommend it enough. It was an absolutely awesome time, and I'm gonna go back as often as I can.
That's great. That's great to hear that the event went off well and they had a little bit of something for everybody. My one question for you is, how was the ticket prices for the game?
Yeah, I think they ranged from like 25 to like 100 or something like that. So
Perfect.
yeah, it was great. Lots of families there, lots of young kids. I really loved that. We're starting to see less and less kids at Canuck games and NFL games, and lots of the sports are pricing out families, but the tickets were very, very reasonable, I thought.
Oh, that's good. That's good because you know what? Like it's nice to have those outings with the family where
Yeah.
you can take your kids and not have to break the bank.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. It was great. We had probably more fun than the 51,000 fans that went to BC Place on Saturday night to check out the Messi-less Inter Miami squad that came in and played against our Whitecaps. Miami came in missing their top three guys, and they still beat the sad Whitecaps. Whitecaps are now winless in 7. Miami has won their last 7, but they're missing their top 3 guys, and we still got our asses kicked. And 51,000 fans there were pissed because Messi did not show up. It's actually you can't even believe how many media outlets around North America are picking up the story and saying like, "What the hell? He really screwed Vancouver and didn't come." And there was a lot of press from all over the world talking about that. All these tickets were sold. All these people are really mad that Messi didn't come.
Oh well. I said it right away. I said it before, like right when I heard that he was coming. I'm like, yeah, you're probably gonna take that one off. I don't see it happening. And if it's actually in his contract that he doesn't play on turf, like possibly the other 2 superstars on the
I don't
team.
think no, I don't think it's in his contract because he played on turf
Okay.
he played on turf about I'd say around 2 maybe 3 months ago. He played on a turf field, so
Okay. All right.
yeah, it's
Or
not in his contract. That's for damn sure.
okay, so but if he prefers to play on grass, which I'm sure every soccer player does,
Yeah.
and if you had a little bit, let's say, oh, is that turf field? Got a little bit of a tweak, just a little one, but it's enough for me to not play.
Yeah.
And then his other 2 buddies are just like, oh, you got a tweak? I got a tweak. Oh, okay, so we're all just gonna stay home. So did they even travel with the team?
No.
That's
no. They actually
oh,
they actually emceed this youth soccer tournament or something like that. They actually went and hung out around Miami and did something else. Uh,
so that's even worse if you really think about it, right? It's like I couldn't be bothered to play the game, but I also don't want these people to see my face in Canada, so I'm not going to even bother.
Yeah, I mean, getting on the plane would have been really nice. Just actually going around, taking pictures, signing autographs, like just
Nah.
people just want to see the guy. Like honestly, that would have placated quite a few people if he actually just at least made it out there.
Yeah, it would have, but it would have been good for him. So I understand. I understand where he's coming from. It's like, no, I don't think so.
Whitecaps are playing such poor soccer right now. It's disgusting. They had a game the other night that was just embarrassing. It was terrible. This game against Miami, they had 2 shots on goal in the entire game. 2 shots. One of them went in on a penalty kick they had. our sniper, Ryan Gauld, scored it. They had no other things to cheer about. That the loudest cheer of the entire night was this. Kirk McLean and JT Miller were at the game. They showed them up on the big screen, and they were standing there holding their beers. And when they realized they were up on the big screen because people started cheering, they just crushed the beers. They just whoa, 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 downed them. And and everybody in the place just
lost it.
And all of a sudden, JT Miller, JT Miller. They started chanting. And so there was a lot of Canuck fans there. And that was the biggest roar of the entire night. That was the highlight for the 51,000 fans that were there.
You know, the funny thing is, it's like, this is not even our sport, but we're the real superstars here. We are the real superstars here, me and Kirk. Awesome. And it's just hilarious because it's like, that was, the fans needed something to cheer for. And JT Miller and Captain Kirk are just like, we got you. We're going to give you something to cheer for.
Yeah, that was amazing. It was absolutely hilarious and amazing. And yeah, the Canucks upstaged them and they're gone. They're out of the playoffs. You know, the teams like the Lions and the Whitecaps and other teams around here are always like, oh, damn, you know, Canucks always just get all the press, get all the media attention, and upstage us all the time. Canucks are done now. The Whitecaps had that opportunity, and they still get upstaged by a former goalie and one of the top guys on the Canucks. And they're just drinking beers, hanging out, watching the game, and the Canucks still upstage the Whitecaps. It's pretty bad.
Yeah, it's horrible. But what do you expect when the team is garbage? So yeah,
yeah, it's pretty crappy. I'm pretty shocked. The Whitecaps did announce that they were going to charge 50% for food and drinks. And people that paid $1,000 a ticket, they were like, "Oh, thanks for the lousy hot dog and beer." I'm sure that didn't help them out, but they actually are giving people free tickets now. People that bought those tickets can choose another game in the season to go to for that ticket price that they bought. So that's cool.
It's something. It's something to placate like the fans, because I'm sure if they didn't do anything, the fans would be like, "Oh well, hey, guess what I'm gonna do? I'm not gonna come anymore."
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, exactly. So Messi probably lost a lot of fans. He's still probably got a few million. Cristiano Ronaldo might be surpassing him with. They've been sort of back and forth as the top goats over their careers. Cristiano Ronaldo scored a brace on the weekend, couple goals, and he set the new Saudi Pro League scoring record. He got 35 goals this year. I think it works out to about 7 million a goal or something crazy like that. But yeah, he was awesome this year. His team didn't have the success that they expected, but he was able to set the record, and he joined them in January. I think his contract goes till middle of. I think it's only like the little bit, maybe like only 2-3 more months, and then he's done. So yeah, we'll see if he re-ups there or comes over here to North America.
Yeah, we'll see if he does that. I have a sneaking suspicion that he might just re-up with them.
Yeah,
because they'll probably just throw a ton of money at him again and say, "Well, what do you think? I know 8 figures is a little low, so 9 figures."
Yeah,
and they'll probably like, "You know what? Yeah, sure.
Maybe.
I'll
back. Money talks. He's what is he? 39 now, 39 years old. And yeah, after playing with Man U, Real Madrid, and Juventus, and having an absolutely stunning career, yeah, you might as well get the money while you can. And but yeah, it'd be great to see him come over here, follow Messi, and not play in Vancouver, and piss off more fans. And
oh, that would be awesome. You know what would be awesome? A dream scenario if we got Ronaldo. Yeah. Although, let's be honest, we couldn't afford him. There's no way we'd be able to pay him. I don't think that I don't think there's any way we'd be able to pay him.
Yeah.
No way.
Unfortunately, true. Yeah, unfortunately, true. Unless we somehow get in bed with the Saudis or something, and yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, probably not happening.
Yeah.
So I mentioned that the Whitecaps only got 2 shots on goal, and it got me thinking about different sports and shots. There was a point in the Oilers game the other night. Oilers were playing Dallas in game 2. There was a 11-minute and 43-second stretch where Edmonton didn't get one shot, and a 12-minute and 15-second stretch at another point in the game where they didn't get a shot. And basically 24 minutes of the game, they didn't get a shot. Imagine if that happened in an NBA game. That's half the game, 0 shots. And in a normal NBA game, teams get up about 85 to 95 shots a game from the field and another 18 to 25 from the line. One team not even attempting one shot in a half is about 40, 50 shots. And how brutal is that? I remember somebody, a basketball fan, sitting down with me and saying, like, hockey frustrates the hell out of me. Because I'm used to seeing, I'm watching a sport where there's shots every time they're coming down the court. There's 2 or 3, 4 shots happening. They'll skate down the ice and skate around for minutes, and there's not a shot. What the hell? This is brutal. And then I said, go to soccer. There'll be, games where they'll get 1 or 2 shots a game, and that's what happened in this game. So it's amazing the difference between soccer, hockey, and basketball and the shot difference there. It's frustrating for people that like one sport or the other and try to, get interested in the other one. It's quite bizarre and quite different.
It is very bizarre, very different. Because to a certain extent, depending on what the other team is trying to do to you, especially in hockey, it's like for basketball, it's all about pacing. That's why watching the Celtics and Pacers has just been a joy to watch, because they are racing up and down the court as fast as they can.
Big time.
But for hockey, you can stagnate the game if you want.
Yeah.
You can set up traps in the neutral zone and all of a sudden just bog down the game make it into a quagmire. You know what I mean? And then all of a sudden, that's not fun hockey to watch. I remember those years with the Minnesota Wild.
Yeah.
Kind of sucks.
Brutal, yeah. And it was really tough this year with the Canucks. We had an exciting run, but they had one game, I think they had 12 shots. They had many games when they had under 20 shots, and everybody's yelling, shoot the puck. And every time they got it close, everybody be going crazy. And it's very frustrating when, you want them to shoot, but yeah, like the game can just, collapse on the middle, and they can just block shots and make it impossible to find, a lane to shoot at. Why just shoot it right into a guy? Try to find another spot where there's nobody in. And then all of a sudden, turnover, back down to the other end of the ice. Back down. And yeah, it's amazing though. I was shocked at that game. The Oilers and Dallas are embroiled in a really fun series. Game 3 is tonight in Edmonton. Edmonton got the win in game 1. Dallas got the game win in game 2, 3-1. Edmonton went up 2-0 after 1 tonight. Dallas scored the next 3 goals. And so this is a back and forth series. I heard a lot of people say that they were kind of hoping Dallas would just crush Edmonton, because then it would be like, we wouldn't be as sad thinking that if we beat Edmonton, maybe we had a shot at the Stanley Cup. And I don't know. Where do you sit? Do you care one way or the other who wins this series between Edmonton and Dallas?
Not really. I still hold a grudge over Peter Pocklington selling off Gretzky. Yeah, that's how deep my hatred goes. So yeah, I don't have any dog in this fight, but I would say, if I'm to consider it from the NHL's perspective, they would probably want Dallas to win.
Yeah.
Because that's just the bigger TV market. And if it's Dallas and the Rangers, then the NHL would be over the moon. They'd be exceptionally happy about that particular matchup, which could still happen because I still firmly believe the Rangers are up 2-1 in their series. I think the Rangers are going to come out of that. I think they're going to the finals because they've been unbelievable this whole year.
Yeah, they've been super great. Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, it'd be amazing for the NHL having those two huge markets. Imagine being in Dallas right now, alternating nights between the Stars and the Mavs, Stars and the Mavs. The guys that have to change the arena over, they're getting so much overtime. They're getting so much work. They're going to be dead tired by the end of these playoffs. But imagine how much fun it is in Dallas right now.
Oh yeah, because it'd be just unbelievable. Yeah. Because you know what? Like if I'm the hockey player or the basketball player right now, I'd be like, boy, them Cowboys, they better do something this year. You know what I mean? Because we sure did. We sure did.
Yeah, right. No kidding. Yeah, putting the extra pressure on the Cowboys as if they don't have enough on them already.
You know, you just gotta have a little bit more of a push, a little bit more.
Yeah. There was a golf tournament that I'm going to talk about that was in the Dallas Fort Worth area over the weekend too. So lots going on in Big D and a lot of fun there. I did want to make a quick mention. The Abbotsford Canucks have made a coaching change. Jeremy Colleton is out, and Manny Malhotra is in now for the Abbotsford Canucks. Manny had a phenomenal 18-year career in the NHL. He played with the Canucks. Unfortunately, he suffered a serious eye injury. He took a puck to the eye, and it prematurely ended his career. And he was a assistant coach with the Canucks. He went to Toronto, was assistant coach there, and now he's back in the Canucks fold as the coach in Abbotsford. Super happy he's back. One of the great guys in the game. And I have a question for you. Do you know who he's related to? It's one of Canada's best athletes in the history of our country.
Steve Nash?
Yeah, Steve Nash.
Oh,
yeah.
Awesome. I have no idea where that came from. Okay, why am I right?
He married Steve Nash's sister. And so that's a pretty cool family to be part of. Steve Nash's brother Martin was a professional soccer player, played for the Whitecaps. And it's incredible to be part of such an amazing sporting family. And Manny will do incredible things for that Abbotsford team. I'm really excited that he's back in the family.
Yeah, I'm excited too. It's good to see. And now that he's back into the fold, seeing him now climb that coaching tree, and I hope he sticks with it and is a coach either there or finally comes up to the NHL, which is probably a goal of his for the future. And he sticks around the game for quite some time. So I think he has a lot of knowledge to pass on to the youth.
Yeah, definitely, especially the centers. He was year after year one of the best face-off specialists. They would bring him in there, and he would win the face-offs whenever they needed it. He was an incredible defensive stalwart, and just so many great attributes he had. Played so hard all the time. You never see him take a shift off. He was always just playing incredibly intensively. And I love the guy. I'm so happy he's back. I was really sad when he went to Toronto and we didn't have him here on the West Coast, but he's back, and this is good news. As I mentioned, the PGA Tour was in the Dallas area this past weekend, and I'll talk about the results in a second, but I'm not sure if you heard this news, but on Saturday morning, we were rocked with news that one of the participants in the tournament withdrew on Friday after just before his round finished. He finished 16 holes. He decided that he couldn't play any further. They didn't really make an announcement exactly why. He just walked off the course. Then we heard the tragic news that he committed suicide that evening. And at 30 years old, Grayson Murray is no longer, and it was pretty shocking, pretty tough news to hear. He had definitely battled with some addictions, some mental health issues, but it seemed like he had really won the battle, had overcome a lot of it. Hadn't been drinking for quite a while, according to him and others, and seemed like he was on a good path. He was engaged to be married, and was, playing golf for a living, doing well, and all of a sudden this happens, and the family shared the news over the weekend, and it really rocked everybody that follows the game, and obviously condolences to his friends and family.
Yeah, utmost condolences to his friends and family. I saw something of that off of like an Instagram post. I thought it was something like a catastrophic thing, like a medical thing. I didn't know what the story was behind it, but this is just that's a lot sadder to hear that he took his own life, and it's unfortunate. But people need to know that there's help out there. They need to know how to reach out, when to reach out before it gets to this point, and it's far too late. So hopefully people find a way to figure out how to get help if they're in this black hole.
Yeah. Yeah, I just always, when I hear about somebody doing this, I always just think, why? Like, why did this happen? And it's amazing that our brains could convince us that that's the best route. It's just amazing that your brain would sabotage itself and, make you believe that that's the only or best way out of the situation you're in. And he's playing golf for a living. He's making good money. He seems to have the world by the tail. It doesn't seem like there should be anything that he's down about. And then this happens, and it's just hard to fathom, hard to understand.
It is. But again, we're not in his shoes. We don't know what he's going through. You don't know what he's fighting, what demons he's fighting. And again, thoughts and prayers for the family and friends.
Yeah, crazy, and very tough. I've had a friend commit suicide, and it was very tough to go through. Canucks family, Rick Rippon, committed suicide in 2011, and it hits a lot. It just makes me think about a lot of people that have done this and have struggled with mental health, and I hope more people can get help immediately, and we don't have to ever talk about this again. It's tragic. um we've talked about the golf fair amount on this podcast, just giving some results, and how the PGA Tour has changed so much since Liv took a lot of the top guys away. There was another first-time winner this week, which is amazing. I think it's around 7 or 8 first-time winners this season, and these guys finally getting an opportunity to shine, and he won. I think he won by 5 shots. Scotty Scheffler finished second after his jail stint and all the crazy chaos that he went through. Still playing great golf, and wasn't able to catch the eventual winner, Davis Riley. But another first-time winner, and Scotty Scheffler right there again, as usual.
Great win by Davis Riley. Great win by all of these new cats. Getting a chance to like win the money, get that bag. That's awesome to see. And speaking of Mr. Scotty Scheffler, who came in second, is still playing great golf. Did you see that the video came out about his incident with the police? Did you see the said video?
No, I did not. No.
Okay, so I watched it. Oh man, it doesn't look good for the Louisiana police force, because there's a script that they came out saying this is what he did with the police officer, dragging him behind the car and everything else. Yeah, that's not what happened.
No.
None of that happened.
Wow.
But what you did see was the police officer go to try to smash his window in.
Jeez.
Awesome stuff.
Wow.
So I don't know if they're gonna go forward with like charges and stuff because from what that video shows, oh, that's probably not a good idea for you guys. You
Crazy.
probably want to bury that one real quick.
Wow. Yeah, no, I haven't seen that. That's amazing.
Yeah,
I didn't know something came out. I had heard
came up.
over a few days that nobody had any video. So,
Nope.
yeah,
Video was out. I
so,
saw it,
yeah.
and it was like from across the way, like on a street cam or something like that. I guess the police force forgot about that one because they forgot.
Great.
But
Wow.
yeah, man, it definitely showed that's not what happened.
Good.
That's
Well,
not
I'm
what happened.
glad because yeah, I'd like Scheffler to be vindicated. I
Oh,
thought the police probably overreacted, like I've seen
yep.
them do many, many, many times before, and I guess yeah, I'm glad there was some video and it will exonerate him or prove that yeah, that wasn't how it went down, how the police said it did. So yeah, that's great. That's really good news. The PGA Tour goes to Canada this week. They're in Hamilton this weekend for the Canadian Open. We will remember last year. We're going to see tons of highlights this week. Nick Taylor hitting that 72-foot putt to end the 68-year drought of Canadians winning the Canadian Open. Let's hope the Canadians can get in contention again and win it again. That was one of my favorite moments of my life and definitely of watching golf. And yeah, let's hope that's another spectacular weekend and we can get to see another Canadian hoisting the trophy.
Yeah, so that was your favorite moment. My favorite moment was seeing his buddy, the other golfer, get Terry tated by that
Yeah,
security
Adam
guy.
Hadwin, yeah.
Yes,
Got
so
tackled.
I would love to see that happen again. That's what I want to see.
Okay. I don't think that'll happen again, but we can always hope. We can always,
No, one can hope. I'm hoping and praying.
yeah. Um, Live Golf. One note of Live Golf. One of the Live golfers has just decided he had a week off, so he would go on the play on the seniors tour. I think he's about 51 years old. He won the tournament. First time he ever played on the seniors tour. Won the tournament. His name is Richard Bland, and yeah, sheds a little bit of light on Live as well as him being able to go over and get a victory on the seniors tour and pocket a bunch of money and he'll play with Liv, making a lot of money, maybe be able to transition and win a whole bunch more as he's getting later into his 50s and 60s and stuff. It's pretty cool. Very cool.
Oh, that's very cool. That's awesome to see that he's able to still have a professional career in the later stages of life and still make a lot of money doing it. It's cool.
Yeah, it's amazing. Uh, Rafael Nadal was knocked out in the first round of the French Open yesterday. It's the first time he's ever lost this early in the tournament. He's won the French Open 14 times, 14-time champion. He's played there 115 games and only lost 3 before yesterday. He said this could be it. This might be the last time that he plays that tournament, and that will be sad. This is a guy that absolutely dominated the clay at Roland Garros in Paris, and it is he was just a master. Bjorn Borg is second with French Open championships at 6. Nadal has 14. In third place, there's 3 guys that have won 3 times. Djokovic is one of them, and Nadal has 14 of those titles. So sad to see him go. He's 38 years old and looking like this could be it for the French Open. And he was just so fun to watch. Incredible master of the tennis game on clay.
Yeah, incredible. Absolutely incredible. If he's calling it quits, I want to say he's been playing tennis for at least 2 decades, right?
Yeah.
Okay, well, you know what? That's pretty good.
Yeah.
He's had a pretty good career.
Yeah.
I would dare say Hall of Fame.
Oh,
right?
Yeah. Oh,
I think
he's one of the goats. Like,
yeah.
him, Federer, and Djokovic are the 3 best players that have ever played the game, bar none. And yeah, he's one of the GOATs. He's in the Hall of Fame, shoe in 100%, definitely. He did say that he would love to play on those courts for the Olympics, which take place in July and August of this year. The qualification process is very, very difficult and bizarre, but I think he'll be there in the mix and has a good chance to yeah, win a medal and be one of the top guys at the Olympics. So maybe never the French Open, but he might be able to play on those courts coming up this summer.
Well, I think that would be a no-brainer for his home country. It's like, oh, does Rafa want to play? Yeah, then let him play.
Yeah, yeah, no doubt. Yeah,
Yeah, I think it's a no-brainer. No-brainer.
yeah. He just came back about a month ago. He was off for 15 months. He had hip surgery, and so he's just getting back into form. Maybe one, obviously one of the reasons why he did not win. He lost in straight sets to Zverev, and yeah, it's. I hope it's not it. I hope he can get back to full health and he can play next year. I'd love to see him actually win a few games and knock at the door on another title. As I mentioned, the Olympics take place in July and August. Goes July 26th to August 11th. So we might not have to wait too much longer to see him actually back on those courts. And man, I just recommend to anybody try to watch some of the matches that he's played on clay. The guy just knows that surface better than any human being that's ever played it, and it's just watching a genius play a sport, and it's just mind blowing, fun. It's exciting. It's just yeah, something incredible that I'm so fortunate to have witnessed for so many years.
Yeah, I've seen it, and then sometimes you're just like you can't believe what you're seeing because you're like, how did he do that? Like,
Yeah.
you're just like, how did he do that? How did he make those shots? But again, when you're a clay master of that quality, like with the fact that the second place guy is 8 behind you, that just tells you how good he is on that surface.
Yeah, yeah, amazing. Yeah. Okay. We didn't have a UFC this past weekend, but we have one coming up this weekend. It's UFC 302. This comes to us from New Jersey, and we've got regular normal times for it. The early prelims start at 3 o'clock Pacific. The regular prelims 5 o'clock Pacific, and the main card 7 o'clock. We've got a title fight in the lightweight division against from the #1 pound for pound fighter on the planet, Islam Makhachev, the champion of the lightweight division, coming in 25-1, 13 fight win streak, facing off against Dustin the Diamond Poirier. Islam is the champ, has been able to prove that he is pretty damn good, but he's only had a couple of defenses of his title against Alexander Volkanovski, who's a smaller guy. So maybe facing a top level competitor like Poirier, maybe somebody has a chance. He was able to win the belt for the vacant lightweight strap against Charles Oliveira in 2022. And then, as I said, was able to beat Alex Volkanovski on a couple of occasions to defend the belt. So Dustin has fought for the belt. This will be his 4th time. He was able to win the vacant title against Max Holloway, and but has come short on the other 3 occasions. What do you expect? What are we going to see on Saturday night between these two warriors?
I think it's going to be a hard-fought fight. I think Islam could probably make the fight easier for himself if he grapples Poirier and takes him to the ground, takes him to the mat. I think you're going to see a healthy mix of stand-up and grappling with Makhachev because he knows that if he stands completely in this fight, he gives Poirier a chance. Because Poirier has the power to knock anybody out in that division. It doesn't matter who you are.
Yeah.
So I would say that Makhachev's going to do a lot of grappling. He'll set it up with the strikes and take Poirier down to the mat over and over and over and over again.
Yeah. That's the Dagestani way, and yeah, it seems like Khabib did it, Islam does it, and most of these Dagestani fighters, yeah, just grind it out. Hopefully, Poirier can keep the fight standing and have a spectacular performance. He has alternated wins and losses over the last 3 years, but had a really great performance against Benoit Saint Denis last time. A lot of people thought Saint Denis was definitely the younger up-and-comer that was going to easily win that. Poirier got the victory, and it gave him this title shot.
Yeah, he got the victory. He showed that he's still relevant, and showed that you still have to respect that power. Benoit Saint Denis didn't, and he paid for it. So, and I don't think Makhachev is going to be making that mistake in this fight.
No. Unfortunately, Poirier did lose to Islam's mentor, Khabib Nurmagomedov, UFC 242 in September 2019 via rear naked choke, but that is almost 5 years ago. So I'm sure the game plan has been evolved and will be different for Poirier, but yeah, as I said, Islam's mentor was Khabib, and he was able to get that rear naked choke win.
Yeah, and he's going to be able to lean on Khabib to figure out a great game plan for Poirier going forward. Yeah, there's been a difference of 5 years, like you said, so he's elevated his game, but so has Makhachev.
Yeah. Our co-main event should be a hell of a great fight. We've got Sean Strickland, #1 ranked in the middleweight division. He lost his last fight to Dricus du Plessis, who took the belt away from him. That was back in January of this year. It was just a split decision loss, but definitely was a loss. Faces off against Paulo Costa, who's actually #7 ranked in the division. He's dropped a little bit because he's lost 3 out of his last 4. His last loss was against Robert Whittaker, UFC 298 in February of this year. His last win was against Luke Rockhold, but has lost to Adesanya and Marvin Vettori. Also Whittaker, 3 of the last 4. So he was coming in 13-0, and all of a sudden, bam, he's only won 1 of his last 4. So on a bit of a skid. How do you think this one's going to play out?
I think it's going to be an absolute war. I think these guys are going to go forward, not backwards.
Right.
And I think Sean Strickland is going to look to try to knock out Paulo Costa, and Paulo Costa is going to look to knock out Sean Strickland.
Yeah.
I don't think this goes the full 5 rounds. I don't think so.
No, I doubt it. Yeah. Okay, we've got also a middleweight battle between Kevin Holland and Mikhail Olechechek. Holland is having a bit of a rough stretch as well. He's lost 4 out of his last 6 and has dropped down to number 15 in the middleweight division. He lost his last fight to Michael Venom Page last time out in March, and also lost to Jack Della Maddalena back in September to a split decision. Olechechek is also coming off a loss. He lost to Demolidor Michel Pereira, UFC 299 in March to a rear naked choke. And you remember that Pereira just jumped on him immediately and sunk that in a minute into the fight and won. His last win was beat Chidi Njokuani by TKO back in August. So 2 guys that need a win. It should be a war as well. And great to see 2 middleweight fights back to back like this.
Yeah, no, it's great to see. I think Holland wins this fight. I think he has a bounce back because I think he's ecstatic to fight Mikhail because he's there to be hit. Where Michael Venom Page, he couldn't find him. for
Right.
the bulk of that fight. He could
Yeah,
not find it.
that's true. Yeah, that was tough on him. Yeah. Yeah, Page had great movement and did not allow him to hit him at all. Uh, Gelton Almeida. He started out as a welterweight and is now a heavyweight. Just continues to move up and get bigger and bigger and bigger, and he is scary. Absolutely incredible physique and super tough, but he did get knocked out by Curtis Blades in his last fight, just 36 seconds into the second round. So coming off a loss. He was on a 15 fight win streak before that loss, so it's not knocking him down too much. He's still 7-1 in the UFC, and he's fighting a super tough Russian guy, Alexander Romanov, who's actually ranked number 13 in the world. It was supposed to be Alexander Volkov fighting in this fight. He was pulled out, so now Alexander Romanov jumps in to take his place.
Yeah, I think this could be the potential fight where it's just going to be a grappler's special, or their grappling is going to be so exceptional that it forces them both to stand up, and then somebody gets knocked out. So I think, I personally believe, I think we're going to see some amazing grappling between these two.
Yeah,
that's what I think this fight's going to come down to. And Gelton's going to try to take him to the ground. I think Romanov feels comfortable enough to go to the ground with Gelton. So I'm hoping to see it like that. Like I'd love to see these guys roll, these big men roll.
That'd be great. Yeah, very fun. Yeah, there's not enough heavyweights that like to grapple and are super skilled at it. So yeah, should be great. Yeah, I think we'll see some really good grappling and some phenomenal stand up at times too. So yeah, it'll be a fight to definitely look forward to. The fight that kicks off the main card has Randy Rude Boy Brown, one of your boys, against Elizu Zaleski dos Santos. Both these guys are veterans. They've been around for a long time. Dos Santos started fighting in the UFC in 2015. Randy back in 2016. Rude Boy is 12-5 in the UFC, and Dos Santos is 10-3. Both these guys really have been in a lot of incredible fights against some super high level competition. And yeah, this is a really great matchup. I love it.
Great matchup, fantastic matchup. I think this one is again going to be another banger, going to be another war. Both these guys are just going to come at each other.
Randy won his last fight against Muslim Salikov back in February. Got a victory there. And so Dos Santos, he had a draw in his last fight. And then a split decision win over Benoit Saint Denis before that. His career highlight really, I guess, is beating Sean Strickland. That's kind of his claim to fame. And so they might cross each other in the dressing rooms and have some words.
Yeah, of course they will, because Strickland will always have words for anybody. Yeah, that's gonna happen.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, Cesar Almeida and Roman Kopylov are the feature fight in the prelims. Almeida was an incredible kickboxer, had a phenomenal career, won 47 of his 55 fights, and comes in 2-0 in the UFC, was able to get a really great TKO again in his last fight against Dylan Butka. That was just April 6th, so very recent ago, guess about 2 months between it. It was a performance of the night knockout for him. Kopylov, the Russian, 12-3 coming in. He lost his last fight against Fluffy Hernandez, and Fluffy was on this card originally, got pulled off. He's on a four fight win streak before that loss, but he's only 4-3 in the UFC. I think they're starting to try to get Almeida against a little bit tougher competition. This is a step up, but I'm still leaning towards Almeida. I think he's got the advantage in this one.
Yeah, I would agree with you on that. I think Almeida does have the advantage in definitely the stand-up compartment. I think Kopylov will probably try to stand up with Almeida a lot in this fight, and I think that will be a mistake.
Yeah, yeah. Nico Price is fighting Alex Morono. He was supposed to fight Jeremiah Wells, who just had a late pullout. We'll see what that does to the change for Nico. I like Grant Dawson, Joe Selecki, Philip Rowe, Jake Matthews. Both should be great fights. On the early prelims, we see Mickey Gall probably fighting for his UFC career. If he loses this one, that could be it for him. I can't believe all the fights that have fallen off this card already, though. That Roman Dolidze, Anthony Fluffy Hernandez would have been a banger. Absolute great middleweight fight that I wish was still there. We had Andre Lima lose a couple of opponents. Joshua Van lose his opponent Tatsuro Tora, and but there's still a hell of a lot of great fights on this UFC 302. It's going to be fun.
Oh, it's going to be a great fight. Great. It's going to be a great pay-per-view. I'm looking forward to watching it. It's going to be fantastic. I think it's going to be a great card.
Can't wait. The final note for me is BC Lions just announced for their home opener against Calgary, June 15th, that 50 Cent will be the musical guest. They had last year LL Cool J, the year before that One Republic, and now 50 Cent. He goes from the Super Bowl to the home opener of the BC Lions. That's a pretty big coup for the Lions to be able to get 50 Cent to come in. Everybody remembers the amazing Super Bowl performances that they had down in LA with Snoop Dogg, Dr. Dre, Eminem, Mary J. Blige, Kendrick Lamar, and 50. And it's pretty incredible that 50 will be the opening act for the Lions in a couple weeks.
Yeah, that is amazing. That's impressive that they managed to get him. Even though I do need to mention that 50 Cent during that Super Bowl appearance looked more like $1.50. He really did. So, yeah. But it's great that we got him. That should give some some good fire and hype for the team with 50 introducing him and stuff. Like it's a good start to the beginning of the season for the Lions. Yeah, I like it.
I saw those guys all on Jimmy Kimmel maybe like a month ago, and 50 said, I made a mistake hanging upside down. It made me look all swole, and and I remember just being like, "That's 50? Really? Whoa!" Yeah. Like the guy's been definitely enjoying some buffet there lately, and yeah, but yeah, he says it was because he was hanging upside down, but I don't know if that's the case. He didn't look that bad, and on Jimmy Kimmel, he didn't look as big as he looked during that Super Bowl performance.
Well, that's probably because somebody probably got in his ear and said, "So, thinking you need to go on a diet." Yeah, look at a little puppy there, buddy. Look at a little $1.50.
$1.50. I love it. Yeah, I'm gonna yell that out at him as I'm standing there right by the stage there. You're just gonna see one and done.
Yeah, that's gonna yelled out.
This is a $1.50 for you. See you later. Yeah, but yeah, it was pretty awesome seeing One Republic. Great to see LL Cool J. We had some amazing seats just the next section over from him. Yeah, we'll definitely. I think we have the same seats actually for this performance. So yeah, we'll probably get some good footage. We'll put up on our website, Complete Music Media, and yeah, it's gonna be a blast. Unfortunately, we have tickets for the Vancouver Bandits the same night. Somehow we messed up and got tickets for both the Bandits and the Lions. So we're gonna be selling the Bandit tickets. So anybody that's watching, listening, wants to go check out the Bandits, couldn't recommend them more, as I said earlier. Do so, and we'll sell them face value to you. So anyway, that was a great podcast, man. We covered it all. It was super fun as always, and that's all I have. Do you have anything more to add?
No, actually I don't. It's cool though that you are so in tune with the sports that you bought tickets for the same day sports. Like that's I love that. I love that. I love
Yeah.
that. I love that about you. Awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, well, we want to be at as many events as we can. We went to comedy on Saturday. Had an absolute blast. It was fun. With no UFC, gave me something to do on Saturday night, and so yeah. But yeah, man, well, take care of your foot. I hope it doesn't get amputated, mangled. I hope it's I hope you're able to walk around. Let's hire a nurse if you can't, and get somebody over there to help you and cook you some food and keep you well as you heal up.
Man, I'd love all of those things. I'd love all of those things. But then reality kicks in. So yeah, I'll be just having my foot up elevated, icing it, and I should be good to go by next week. So
Great.
look
Okay,
forward
man.
to
We'll
seeing you then.
enjoy the basketball and yeah, keep in touch as always. And we will definitely talk to you later on in the week.
All right, sounds good, my friend. You have yourself a good evening.
Okay. Thanks, buddy. Cheers. Good night. All right. Yeah, man. Well, that was a nice little bit shorter podcast than usual. We didn't have a UFC to cover, so we were able to just do that short preview. I'm looking forward to this card. This UFC card should be phenomenal. I'm looking forward to tons of things. There's a lot coming up in the world of sports. So yeah, you missed out, Messi. You missed out coming here. This is a great city. You would have had a blast. You would have enjoyed all the sights and sounds and the adulation that people would have shared upon you. Please come back, or please come here at some point. I don't know if you're going to be in the World Cup or not, but yeah, come here. I think you'll realize how great of a city we have here. Thanks so much for tuning in. As always, we appreciate your support. Thanks for all the subscribers and followers. We're just keep increasing all the time. Love it, love it, love it. I want to just give a quick thank you and shout out to our partners and sponsors. Anchor.fm, the easiest place to make a podcast. Just go to that website and they will be able to help you out, do the things that Jason and I just did here. Verbero, the hockey equipment and apparel company, an industry leader in technology, performance, and value, and the V350 stick is a must-have for any hockey player in your midst. Pampas of Possibilities, they are designers of West Coast, beautiful things for your homes, and they can spruce it up, just allow them to do so. And last but not least, Forever Living, the aloe vera company for health and beauty products. We got them, we love them, you'll love them too. Get them on our website at discounted rates. Take care of yourself. Have an awesome week ahead. Happy Memorial Day for all of our American viewers and listeners. And yeah, let's hope there's another long weekend very soon. Summer's almost upon us. We're not getting great weather around here, but hopefully it will be very, very soon. So love you guys lots. We will talk soon. Take care of yourself, and we'll talk to you again. Bye.